Okay, I'm going to talk through a battle in the Progetto that I had, all tier 8 matchmaking. This is a unique battle that I lost, but um, somebody on their team harassed me after the game a little bit, and I started thinking about it, which made me think about it. I didn't really think much of it at the time, but I looked back and actually ended up with an ace tanker and a loss, which it doesn't happen very often. And I thought I made mostly solid plays with some obvious mistakes. It would have been challenging to win this one, but I want to just talk through it because I think some interesting things happen. So Progetto is actually really mobile, so I'm going to take it to an aggressive location. And I also saw that at the beginning I wasn't paying attention there, but I did see that they had a whole bunch of tank destroyers, so I thought it would probably play really slow and I could probably get to an aggressive position and still get out. That was my thought at the beginning of this game. Let's go somewhere fairly forward. And also, I have some heavies following me. If I get into some heavies here, it'll probably be okay. It looks like we got the middle secured, so I'm going to try to push out. This is probably not aggressive enough since our 12th ton has control of the middle, at least with vision control of the middle. So I'm thinking about it. And with our heavies in the Bisante being a really great hull down tank that can sit there right behind me and just hold location and support me, I'm thinking I could probably safely move forward. Otherwise, the deployment is pretty standard. Couple on our team, we've got a couple TDs camping, a bunch of TDs camping zero line, and the heavies working the most useful part of this map, in my opinion. So the other thing too, that rock right there is giving me trouble getting cross shots onto their camping TDs. I was worried about being proxied by their G-Sor. But otherwise I feel like we have a lot of support here. I'm always nervous when there's a Barask on the other team, and so when I saw him on the other flank I was feeling good about moving forward. And turns out after I moved here a whole bunch of heavies showed up, which is okay still, again mostly because behind me I have really great a low and a really great hull down tank, the Bisante and the Ojo. So I've got support where this flank is unlikely to be, this position is unlikely to be rapidly overrun. Miss 2, the thing that I'll say about the Progetto is that it's always hard to know how many shots to fire, because I'm kind of the opinion that if you have damage you should take it, but also you want to try to maintain your DPM, so I tend to play it more like an autoloader. He shot, I should have went there and I'm thinking about it. I thought the low would be a little healthier. Hopefully I can catch his track. There he shot, so I should be able to dump a clip and hopefully kill him. Or leave him as a one shot. That's the other thing too that I think is underrated a little bit, is leaving tanks as a one shot is really important for that reason. But also it makes him not want to push aggressively. So super worried about the G-Sor pushing me now, other than we do have the prototype, so we can't just, I'm watching my map when I'm doing this. I know that we've got tanks here. Again, I'm drawing out my reload there, but you have damage. If we can clear their campers, it frees up resources to come help us on this flank. So if we can dig their camping TDs out, it'll help our team win the game, and it'll help me be more aggressive on this flank. So I arguably here should go with the prototype and kill the G-Sor. Oh, excuse me, the G-Sor already died. There, I killed that dude. I argue we should go with the prototype and try to flank that tank destroyer. The TS, he knows I'm here still. This is a bad fight for me. I'm expecting him to come around the corner. I'm wondering if I could track him and get his flank, but ultimately that's just not a good fight, so I'm going to try to bail. There's at least one camper in their base, so I'm trying to get down into cover here without killing myself. And if I would, I could have gone with the prototype. It would have taken me a long time to kill him solo. I guess I could have. I hate this little rock here. I always get stuck on that. I guess I could have probably drove him past the TS when he was shooting and then gone in behind their heavies and tried to win that flank in that regard. But now I got out, I'm assessing the map. Another good play here would be to push across the field and kill the Furdy, but I feel like we've got like 3 tanks there, and so we should be good. I'm expecting them to beat the 40, but us to have trouble with those heavies on the 1-2 line, and also they're really pinning us into the corner on the 8-9 line. So their ICU shows up, and we're not able to win their base like I thought we would. If I would have went with it, probably would have had more success. We would have had more success in that push. But then their ELC even 90 shows up, and their Basante probably can, in 42 are within range, so there's reasons to think that would have been a bad idea. So here, how aggressive should I be in here? I was hoping to like just dump a clip and then run, but then I saw those guys were pretty intent on taking the corner, and the Tiger looked like it was going to come back, so I'm going to try to solo the Tiger. My anticipation here is I'm going to solo the Tiger too. So I really need to make all of these count, so I did not fire clutch there. I probably should have stopped and fired, because now he's got a little bit of reload on me. If I can get him to miss one of these, it'll be super helpful. I need to fire, hold my fire until I can get him within a definite one shot. If I low roll here, yeah, and see, he got me again. That's a misplay. I lost way too much. I mean, I did trade 3 shots for 5, but it's lost too much health. So again, the VK is slow, the TS is slow. I highly doubt that they're going to be coming up behind me. You can see we lost their base push really heavily, and we're kind of holding on the 9 line. I don't think the VK is going to chase me. I'm a little worried about the slow tank destroyers coming behind me, and the next few plays that I make will be very much with that in mind, that those guys could be slowly pushing my flank. I should be able to get some kills here in the back. I saw the TS was in the open and I expected the VK. That's really unfortunate that misses, because that, I guess it still leaves him as a 1-shot, it leaves him as a 2-shot rather than a 1-shot for me. The ISU should hopefully be able to knock him down. Here's the struggle of this as an autoloader. I thought he was going to go attack the Furdy, so I'll take the damage when I can take the damage, because I don't know when my next opportunity to, I could easily shoot again soon, or I could easily not shoot again for 30 seconds, depending on the situation. So, it looks like our G-Store should have that lockdown. I don't know why they're struggling, if he's caught on a reload, what the deal is over there. They've got 2 mobile tanks, and I'm still really worried about 2 slow tank destroyers catching up behind me. Our plan is to ditch out over the top of this and go down through the middle if I need to. But the Brask is a super dangerous tank. There he shows up, that's helpful to know where he is. So I've done 3,000, I've got 5 kills. I made some not great decisions actually so far. But right now my idea is check, I kind of want to be aware if they're creeping up on me, but also the G-Store to me looks like he's going to fall back, and so if I can maintain crossfire with him, we'll have some sort of advantage. At least we'll be able to take away an angle of them pushing right through the middle. And rather than being right on top of each other, we'll have a much better ability to support each other. And so this is a big moment here. Brass getting caught out in the open. Little surprised he spotted me. He must have a good crew and everything, because I was fairly decently far away. But because I was spotted, I also, so the ISU killed our G-Store, so because I was spotted, I kind of was wondering if the ELC was flying through the middle somewhere, and I just couldn't see him because of view range issues. So now I feel like ISU is going to come into the base, the ELC could go anywhere. I'm so worried about this Furdy coming behind me that I need to go find him. I could play it from that angle, but if they know what they're doing, they can sit behind that rock and then also crossfire me from the middle. So I feel like my best chance to find an isolated tank is to go this way and try to isolate the Furdy, and then ideally get it done quickly, and then come back for whatever else needs to happen at that time. You'll see what happens, but I'm sort of lucky actually. The ELC doesn't actually play that well. He could have probably helped his team win a lot more. And same with the Furry, the Furry base camp, so I figured he wouldn't be a great player, and that if he wasn't coming at me and he wasn't there already, I could probably go behind him and find him in the middle. So my plan here is to find the Furry in the middle, and hopefully not run across the ELC that can two-shot me. The Furry can one-shot me. So I catch him looking the wrong way here. I probably should have been a little more... I probably should have got to cover first before I shot. There's one in cap now. If the ELC caps, it's going to be really hard for me to get back. But I kind of need to kill this guy ASAP. So now he's dead. Super worried about where the ELC is. I probably should have turned around right there. But again, if he was a good player, he would come to the middle right now and kill me. That being said, I don't know how much health he's on. So I'm really worried about going across the middle here. If he got on cap, it'd be very difficult to win. But he's not, and he hasn't been on cap yet, so I don't think he's going to cap. I know that the ISU has bad view range and is not that invisible. The ELC could give me trouble. I expect the ISU's on cap rather than the ELC because of the timing of it. And so you can oftentimes spot out from here and also reset. There's a lot of areas of cap that I should be able to shoot onto and see. The issue is that there's also those dead tanks in cap, which gives me issue, and I'm really worried about being spotted, so I don't quite realize it quite soon enough that I'm not going to have a shot there because he's able to tuck behind the dead tank. And so I leave to go find a different angle. Again, the ELC could be anywhere. At this point I'm thinking I'm probably losing because I wasn't quite quick enough. There the ELC shows up. I'm not going to have a shot on him as I drive into position. I can one-shot him, he has to two-shot me, and then I run to the Tiger trying to get into position. I ended up making my move. He misses me. He probably would have stayed covered, but he ends up the ISU ends up missing me. He exposed himself only because I think he saw me turning to engage this guy. I ran into the tank, didn't help me, but I don't think I would have got up to a place where I could outplay the tank destroyer. I would have needed to climb the hill partially and also have killed the even 90. I think if I would have left my position up on the Abbey just a touch sooner, I would have killed the even 90 because he would have been caught out in the middle just a little more on my way through, and then I would have had maybe a one chance to both dodge the ICU and reset him. And then I think I would have been able to outplay the ICU in close quarters in the open like that with those dead tanks and everything. It would have required some luck also, but that gun's pretty derpy. So ultimately I lost because the time ran out. I only had 4,000 damage. I thought I could have had a blind shot or two in there when I was shooting at those tank destroyers. I don't really remember in the early part of the game. But I did get 7 kills. I thought that another reason I liked this game, even though it was a loss, and even though I made a lot of mistakes, is I thought I used my tank pretty well. I used the autoloader function of it, I used the single shot function of it, I used the mobility of it to try to outflank players. I made a whole lot of assumptions about the enemy team's movement, and I was mostly correct about that. Based on, like I was talking about, the Ferdinand that was base camping. If you're base camping through late in the game, you're probably not a great player, and you're probably going to make not great plays. If he was a better player, he probably would have flanked me. And so the fact that he hadn't flanked me made me think that I could probably catch him in the middle somewhere. Same thing, the ELC. The ELC only fired 2 shots this game, it turns out. I have the post game screens here in a second, but this is not really a spotty map. He should have been trying to do a little more damage, or at least cap, or do something better. If he would have capped, there would have been no way I would have even gotten close. But I might have rushed back a little sooner. I might not have gone up top if the ELC was on cap after I killed the Furdy. So it may have changed the way I played. Ultimately, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to play, these if-then sort of games. But I thought it was an interesting game. I thought I played relatively well, despite the mistakes I talked about. And an ace tanker and a loss was the thing that really struck me about this game. I'll have to pay attention more, but I don't seem to recall getting a lot of ace tankers on losses very often. Overall, this is a very strong tank. Probably overpowered, and I guess that's it.